So I'm going to come across to Anya now. Before I bring Anya on the stage, I just want to tell you a little bit about Anya, because she has an incredible belief, and I think a very valid belief, that thousands of women are not achieving their highest potential because they're feeling flawed, silenced, and worthless due to toxic shame. And she believes it doesn't have to be this way. Now, she's been working with women for over a decade, supporting them to heal the trauma that they've gone through in their life and release any limiting beliefs that are lurking, that are stopping them from moving forward. And she came to realize that hidden shame is the crucial #1 missing piece. And she herself has been stopped in her tracks from shame over and over and over again. And as a result of that, she is now on a freaking mission. If you're on a mission, give me a hashtag mission in the comments. This woman is on a mission because she's building a global movement to liberate the lives of 10,000 courageous women from silenced shame to fearless freedom. Let's get our amazing Anya! She's a survivor and she's loving it. All right, amazing. Anya, welcome to RippleFEST. This is your first RippleFEST behind the camera.
It is, and my first speaking appearance, so thank you, Sammy.
Yay, I'm so excited. So Anya, literally a month ago, you and I didn't know each other. You came through the last RippleFEST that we ran. And, you know, just so that the people that are viewing this now, just tell us a bit about where were you mentally, emotionally, physically 2 days before RippleFEST started?
So, yes, that's a good question. I'm a practitioner. I work with clients. Not a lot was going on, and I was feeling quite desperate and sad, and I was even crying. I admit it now, 2 days ago, thinking, what am I going to do with my life? There has to be more. And I really didn't know how. I knew there was something in me and I didn't know where to go. And then 2 days later, my friend wrote something about RippleFEST on Facebook, and I messaged her, what is this? Who is this, Sammy? And I joined that evening, I think. It was just immediate. I felt the pull. It was the right thing to do. And I had no idea what I was getting myself in for.
And what did you get yourself into?
Well, yeah, I have a business, but more importantly, I have a mission. I have a calling, and it's come from my heart, and it's so much bigger than me. And it fills me with awe and excitement and everything. It's just incredible. And it's thanks to you for giving me that space to really birth my dream business.
Oh, you are so welcome. It has been an honor to watch you grow. Literally in that first week when you went through RippleFEST, watching your personal growth. You actually won an award for it because I think, did you get like greatest transformation of the week or something? Because you literally transformed. You went from like hardly speaking, being really quiet and shy, and to like at the end of the week, you were the one that was taking the mic. You were really speaking up about what it is you're doing. And I'm just so proud and honored to be part of your journey. So tell us about this journey, because, you know, at what point, I mean, you've lived a life already. So at what point did you realize that toxic shame was the #1 thing that was not only had held you back, but that is now holding all these women, millions of women back?
So personally, I've been on a healing journey for decades, recovering from some big trauma in my childhood. And I've seen so many people, done lots of therapies. I've trained because I want to help other people, and something's always held me back. I've never quite made it. It's always something, and I didn't know. I saw my friends being successful. It just wasn't happening. And then when COVID happened, I'd sold my house and I ended up taking a year out, which was an absolute blessing. I was traveling and I had a lot of therapy, a lot of introspection. And from those therapies, I realized it was the shame. I was silenced. I didn't have a voice. I felt worthless, useless. There's something wrong with me, the flawed, invisible. I had all the limiting beliefs. I still had them in spite of all the work I'd done. Not good enough, unlovable. And it's affected me my whole life. And now I know, and I've healed that because I'm here now talking. I can do that. You know, I'm on a mission to help other women because there are quicker ways to do it. You don't have to do the long process that I've done. And I can see potential in my clients and how I can help them, and I can see what's holding them back. And that's where my mission is now.
Yeah,
amazing. Support other women.
Yeah, well, but I mean, because I also remember through RippleFEST how you were creating, and then you did the Ripple Maker Live program, and then you jumped into Mastermind and got Ripple Maker Live as a result of that. And I remember going through that process, working out what is the vision, what's the mission, what is this brand, how are you going to get it out there to the world, what's your one ripple. And I remember it took you, as it did for everybody, like, you know, going back and forth, coming back to, well, what is that one thing that I really want to stand for? Because there's so much that you could stand for, but no one remembers all of that. And if you're going to build a real brand and a real ripple of impact, then being known for one thing, your one drop, when that one drop hits the water and makes that one ripple, it becomes memorable, repeatable, and shareable. And you were brave enough to go through that process and really push through. And as a result, I remember you added a 0 to your impact number.
Yes. And I think I could go on. Yeah, it's the women who've been silenced, and specifically people who've had to keep a secret, you know, in their life, and it just affects their whole life and the way they are. Yeah, and when I actually got in touch with that, it was like, wow, it's bigger than me.
Yeah. Well, you know, because I mean, it could be even just some like silly secret or something tiny. I remember my husband's mum saying to him, you know, I looked after you when you were small, now it's time for you to look after me. And the shame and guilt that he felt at thinking, but you know, I'm just at the height of my life, and you know, but that little secret was something that he kept for a long time, that he didn't share with anybody. And it's amazing what that does to your nervous system, what it does to every part of your being, isn't it? Because you're carrying something so small.
Yes.
But, you know, even down to a mum or a dad saying, you know, make sure you look after someone, or, you know, just a tiny little thing that becomes a heavy burden, and they carry it through life. And even after that person has gone, they're still carrying it in many cases. And especially from childhood, if something's happened in childhood, that thing is just going to keep repeating again and again and again, isn't it? Until you release it. Well, I mean, you've created this amazing program just over the last 3 weeks, I think it's been, you know, since you started really working on it. So tell us about this program, Anya.
So, yes, I want to take these people through this freedom program where they feel heard and validated and believed. It's a safe and supportive place to share their story. And I've got lots of strategies and techniques to help them release the shame, release the pain, release the past, and come into knowing that they are good enough just the way they are. There's nothing they have to do. You know, they're not flawed and worthless. That was just part of the shame. It's not them. And then take them into their believing their magnificent selves and manifesting the life they want to have. So that's a very quick version of it. Yeah. And their voice, giving them their voice. You know? Yeah.
Giving them a voice. I know that's part of the big work that Yoka's doing as well, because especially for these kids who have been so traumatized, they're keeping all these things in their body. Well, that, I mean, is having a massive impact on their physical. You know, we think of it being a psychological and mental and emotional, maybe even spiritual, but we don't think about what all of those things, when they start stacking up, what that then does to the physical body. So I'm sure your clients have many physical things that are released that they don't even come to you for, but you know, it's like, oh, my elbow now doesn't hurt, or my knee doesn't hurt like it used to. Do you have that happen?
Yes, and it is physical parts. It's depression, addictions, codependent behavior. It affects every area of your life, and it's getting people back in their bodies, embodied, and then the healing happens. Yeah, you're right.
Amazing. Well, Anya, I know that you've got your program. I'm just going to put a link in here. If you could just tell people about this masterclass that you've got coming up that you want to, I don't know, are you giving it to the people that are watching? Do they need to pay for it? Tell us a bit more about it just before we go.
Yes, well, there'll be an introduction masterclass, which will be free, which will be about information about ending the shame pain. And I'll be talking about how it can show up in your life, how it can affect you, and then the steps to free yourself of it. So that will be the first. And then there'll be other masterclasses, and I'm going to be building a Facebook group and other things. I've got lots and lots of ideas.
Amazing. Oh, Anya, I'm just so proud of you. Like, I just feel like I've known you for years, even though like we met 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you went from this like quiet mouse sat on a mountain of value of all of these skills to this phenomenal, confident, owning it woman that sits in front of us now, who has a freaking mission, a passion, and gets up every day to do what you believe in. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, and thank you, Sammy, as well, because you've been with me every step of the way. You've supported me. I'm always saying, I need some help. I'm feeling this. Well, I don't know how to do this, because it's a huge learning curve. I've never run a business, but you are there with your lovely, big, open heart and so much experience and knowledge helping me all the way. And that's made the difference.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I mean, one of the reasons I think that you have significantly like improved so quickly is because you show up every day. So for those of you that don't know anything about Mastermind, I show up every day, whether you do or not. So I show up every day, 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. UK time, so that most of the time it's people in Europe, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia. That's a good time zone. People attend the morning session for that one. And then in the afternoon, the States and Canada have woken up by then. And the people that are in the UK that don't want to do the early session, they come to the late session. So I'm there every single day. And Anya, you've been there every single day since you started. And what I love about you is that every single day, just like Lisa shows up in fact, Lisa always comes to the late session. You always come to the morning one. And you know, what's fabulous is that both of you always ask a question. So after we've got really clear and focused and intentional about what we're doing for the day, both of you, and Carol as well, isn't that a surprise that the people that are asking the questions, that are getting the help, that are growing, that are moving forward, are the first freaking people that you're meeting at RippleFEST, because they're doing something about it. So why do you bother to show up every day, Anya? Because I mean, for a new business, it can be quite overwhelming. You know, it could be like, oh, I don't want to get up and do this today. But why do you turn up every day?
Because I'm committed to myself and what I'm doing. I want to make a difference, and it starts the day. We always have lovely meditation, and it gets me in the zone. Yeah, it's a brilliant way to start the day.
In the zone, in the ripple making zone. Brilliant, Anya. Well, I'm looking forward to watching your journey and seeing how you grow and evolve this. I think frickadoodles, if that's what you've achieved in a month, goodness knows where you're going to be in 6 months, and certainly in 12 months time. I'm so excited for you. Yeah.
Thank you, Sammy, so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. All right, give it up for the amazing Anya Berry. Isn't she awesome? Absolutely awesome.